Okay, well, I can't say Mrs. Fishroom because that belongs to somebody else. Mrs. Garage Aquatics 2023, Mrs. Garage, no, that's not good either. Kathy has come and gone. She's in the house now. She brought groceries, went to Trader Joe's, like you guys care, but what the hell. So we were on this tank, and I was kind of hoping that one of these cories would pop out in the meantime. They're pretty elusive. So anyway, and I pulled a jungle val out of here and stuck it in the tank where the crebensis are going, because that is the gift that keeps on giving. It was two pieces stuck together with a new runner coming off of it, so I stuck it in here. This is just sand. There's no substrate, it's just sand. And I stuck that little crypt that was in a pot in there. So what else? Yeah, so I'm hoping this all, well, a lot of guppy grass. So I get sales of that, handfuls at a time. I usually sell like one pretty packed full cup of the guppy grass. People are happy with it. And I've seen a lot of people say it doesn't travel well, and I beg to differ. Maybe it's just the way I pack it. And then on this side, the Betta Gang, I got this very cool little thing from the family in Texas for Christmas. Dead fish tell no tales. Yeah, anyway. So a couple puns going on there. And Betta's everywhere. And there's a couple big plecos in here. There's one hiding in the pot. I don't know where the other one is right now. It's probably, in the back, right in front of my face. And I'm going to take them out of here because they clean this tank up really well. And I'm going to move them in with these knuckleheads, right? Little jailbirds. Some of you saw that short I did. It was Folsom Prison Blues, I think, Johnny Cash. Anyway, and in here are a bunch of stir-buys. There should be 9 from Elfish Tanks 29. David sent me those. And they are going to go in that tank with the crebensis over here and the peacock gudgeons. They should all be fine. A lot of sand for them to play in. It's pool sand, that's what I use. And then let's go back down here. And I think what I'm going to do is, let me get something to sit on, is once that tank is established, I am going to take some of these yellow golden-back shrimp out of here and try and start them in that 20 long up there so I have a backup. I heard, was watching Keeping Fish Simple's tour at LRB's place in Florida, and they were talking about having backups, and that's a damn good idea. So, and I got guppies in here. There's some yellow ones, and I don't know what this. And I didn't have a female, so I grabbed a fancy female to throw in here, and now they're throwing off some weird stuff. And that's kind of cool, whatever that is. It's kind of almost like a snakeskin. And orange sun-kissed in this, and snails. And we're getting to that. And then these are where the tuxedos behind me came from, this tank. And I did have a female with that, or I think a couple females. So, but still throwing off guppies, just throw off weird stuff, I guess. I don't know enough about them. And there's a bunch of blue dream shrimp in this tank that are doing really well. And I need to have a blue dream shrimp backup tank, and I don't. So that's something else I got to do. I guess maybe I do. That one behind me with the that 40 breeder under the shelf with. Let's go back over here while we're talking about them. With the other tuxedo guppies, I think there's blue dream in there. I don't know how well they're doing. I haven't really paid very good attention to that. And there's some bladder snails in this tank, but less and less. Lots of fry swimming around. And I don't know, there's still some bladder snails, but less and less. And then this tank, this is the trank here, there you go. No, don't do tranks. This is the tank I treated with no planaria. And I can't tell you how many people said, no, it doesn't work. I don't see any snails at all in this tank now, and it was loaded with bladder snails. I used to see lots and lots of little ones on the glass. I'd come in here with my shrimp net, scoop out as many as I could. I finally thought, well, I'm going to try this tank first because there's red cherry shrimp in here. It's supposed to be shrimp safe, and apparently it is because there's red cherry shrimp in here. And there's some others, I think, in here that got mixed up. I don't see any snails now, just guppy grass. And I took a bunch of guppy grass out of here yesterday for an order. actually for several orders. No snails. And then I got these really cool wild type mollies from Mexicali Fish Keeper. And there were fry floating around down in here, at least 2. So we shall see. I got to do a water change in here. If there are a bunch of dead snails, which there sure seems to appear to be, the nitrates might get a little high. The ammonia first, then the nitrates. So I'll do a partial water change in here. That should help. I see something on the backside might look like a snail. Let's go see. Oh, really hard to see this side. I let the algae grow pretty much for the shrimp to feed on. Yeah, hard to say. But we could probably do something about that. Anyway, let's go back over here. So this has been a little quarantine. There should be 5 peacock gudgeons in here, and there were 7 black mollies in here. I lost 1. And these are the ones that seem like they got the shimmies. Some of them seem like they're doing better, so I'm going to put them in that tank, that 5-gallon tank up there on the, you know, I might just leave them in here. It's good to talk about stuff. It helps work things out. I dropped a piece of that green hair algae in here because people swear they ate it. It's still sitting there at the bottom, right there. They didn't seem to like it. They still got the shimmies though, but I'm going to get the peacock gudgeons out of here, put them in with the crevensis in that other tank. And then Skull Aquatics suggested Instant Ocean salt, and I guess I will salt this tank. Hopefully that'll straighten them out. And he said quarter cup per 10 gallons, so this is a 5-gallon tank, so I'll use 1/8 of a cup, and I will just add a little bit at a time and slowly work up to that level, and then I'll start water changing them, get them back down to fresh water at some point after I see their shimmies are gone. So you can see this one shimmying a lot. Who knows? They eat. I dropped flakes in here. I've dropped frozen bloodworms. They eat. Hopefully they'll recover, or they'll all do all right. Once any recover, hopefully they'll start spawning, and then I'll get some that'll be acclimated to my surroundings. And then this tank with all the orange and orange sunburst Mickey Mouse platies, and there's also some orange sun-kissed shrimp, and also bronze cories. I'm going to take this tank apart, and I think I'm going to keep that other 20 long, and I'll put it up next to the other 20 long, and put the guppy grass in there, and all these Mickey Mouse platies. So get more room, more surface area, so more room. Same volume, just more room. I guess I'll probably move the bronze cories in there too. I have more bronze cories. Oh yeah, up here with these guys, there's more bronze cories in there. Now I thought about taking the bronze cories out of here and putting a stir-bys from Elfish Tanks 29 in this tank, but I think I'm just going to let that go and put the stir-bys in that 20 long and just leave these. Yeah, just let go in there. Look at that fin on that guy. They're really cool fish. There's the other one. They're very cool fish. They're just going to be behemoths. And then we'll go around the corner here, see what's happening over on this side. I dropped a bunch of extra flower pots in here. Give these guys a little cover. They are so skittish, and now they seem to be less skittish with stuff going on in their tank. I dropped a little bit of hornwort in, just for, a lot of it sank. There's a couple autosynclus. I always want to call them remoras. They remind me of that saltwater fish called a remora that attaches itself to the underside of sharks. But anyway, yeah, so these are the albino cories, yeah, right. These are the albino crebensis, Bob and Carol's offspring. The knuckleheads on the other side, also Bob and Carol's offspring, but they look like species. And this tank's never been great. It seems like it's always been kind of a problem tank. I had that cyanobacteria in this tank a while back, and I used that Ultralife, this stuff, and it works. It worked. One dose, took care of the whole thing. Just follow the label instructions. And then these guys, tank full of guppies. So I obviously need to do some glass scraping. A lot of algae going. Oh, this is a good shot of the little stir-bys back here. They are cute. They are really cute. And there's orange sun-kissed shrimp in here. I think I've got those in a couple places. I got to do an inventory of that. And I want to get those green jades in my office in a couple tanks too. There's peppered cory. One there. one there. There should be 5 in here. Not a clue. I don't know that I've ever seen a lot of mulm down here too. I gotta try and vacuum out a little bit. I don't know. It's all in all, it's a healthy tank. A little bit of duckweed. I got to get that out of there. And then there's also, you know what? That's red root floater, and it was doing well for a while, and now it's not. I don't know why. Doesn't matter. But these are all just fancy mutts. There's some pretty ones. There's some really pretty guppies in here. I used to call it the farm tank, and I guess I still kind of do. Got these potted crypts in the back, the crypt wentii. They're doing better now. They're the ones that I thought killed off completely. Ones in the front, the crypt parva did. I'd like to get another clump of those. I saw this massive clump of them growing at LRB's place in Nick's video. I thought, oh, I like that. He never divided it. I got a little tissue culture pot and divided it all apart, and I should not. I just put it together and let it go. And then in here, just scraps, bits and pieces. I was kind of hoping there was a bulb that'll come back, a tiger lily. May or may not. There's some, I think that's Lobelia cardinalis. I'm not sure. That rounded leaf. And then there's fancies in here, and also red cherry shrimp. There were a bunch of red cherry shrimp in that tank with the baby crebensis that I showed you on the other side, and they're all gone. I found one. I don't know where the hell they went. And then this tank, the 75. It's really cloudy right now. Did a water change on it yesterday, and then I dosed it with ICX. I did a whole week's worth of Pimafix. These guys were covered with ick. The little black skirt tetras. There's 6. There should be a 7th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I don't know. There's always one off stray. And there it is, way over there. So there's 7. 7 out of 7. 3 of these were from 5-Star Betta, Jason. And then the 4 I brought in from PetSmart came in with the glow light tetras. That's where the it came from. I should have quarantined them longer. And I probably should have looked closer when I bought them. And even if they weren't presenting it at the time, I probably should have just dosed them with ICX just as a preventive. But this tank, I like it. There's a nice tiger lotus there. And some different swords. One there. That one there. Another little one tucked in back here. There's a little bitty failing pink flamingo crypt down here. Had another one here that just disappeared, but I've got another one over here that's doing really well. And then I bought a couple. They're in that tub with all the duckweed and water lettuce underneath the cabinet. And I've got this Brazilian pennywort. This is doing okay. This one. Had some other in here that I don't know where it went. I don't know if it just melted off or what. There's a piece that's stuck down here. It got pushed down from the hang on back. And another little piece floating there. So maybe it'll eventually take over. I've heard a lot of people say that stuff will take over. We'll see. Another little piece back there. And a bunch of dwarf Sagittarius, subulata, and more crypts, more crypts, more crypts, and more Sagittaria. Oh, wait. There's Charlie. Say hi, Charlie. And there's Joe. Say hi, Joe. She's a sweetheart. And some jungle val. There's an Amazon sword tucked in there, and more crypts. And a philodendron. And a pothos. And this is the tank. I cut all that rock. These long pieces of rock. I cut them in half. Yeah, pardon the glare. And put a piece of styrofoam against the back glass and a piece of styrofoam underneath and rest them on so they don't just set right on the glass. There's a bunch of bronze cories in here. There should be about 10. And then also there should be about 10 clown plecos. I'll be damned if I know where they went. But anyway, so that's kind of what I'm up to. I got to do another water change on this. I'll probably do that today. And this one's kind of easy, at least the siphon part. I did a video on this permanent drain. It picks up here, and it's fully charged with water right now. It goes down to this ball valve, which is closed, to where the garden hose connects. So I'll connect the garden hose, open that ball valve, and it'll just suck the water right out of the tank. And actually, it could go all the way down to this level if I let it. and then I'll put a hose at the other end and just turn it on and start filling, you know, and kind of cycle the water through that way. Works pretty well. I mean, I'd love to have a permanent system, you know, with all the tanks drilled and all that, but I don't see it happening in here. It just doesn't seem conducive to it because of the layout, but whatever. I'm sure somebody would figure it out, but I haven't been able to. So that's just what's going on in the garage. Moving some stuff around, moving some fish around, set up a new tank. I think we could probably cut these little guys loose now. Let's do that. Here, we'll see if you can see that with all the bubbles. And hopefully they like their new surroundings. There they go, there they go. You know what, now I can't remember how many there were. I think there were 10, was it 10 and 6? 10 albino, 6 species looking. Also from these guys, Bob and Carol's most recent offspring. These are the ones that I siphoned out. They were just a few days old, and I floated them on top of this tank in a Lowell's Fish Lab fry tray. And then and I also had a little albino cory in that tray, and they started getting big enough. I moved them into this 5-gallon there, and I just pulled them out just a little bit ago, and we just moved them into this tank. And the little cory I pulled out a couple days ago and put in the kitchen tank with its parent, and there should be 2 other siblings from a previous spawn in there. So that's kind of the way things are. So I will, now I don't know what I'm going to do with this tank. I was going to put the mollies in it. I think I'm just going to leave them where they are. And I'll pull the peacock gudgeons out and put them in here. So like that. And then I got, you know, duckweed cleanup, and that's all fun. And one thing I just realized is it looks like I have a clean stand of dwarf water lettuce here. There's some Riccia water spangle in it. And that's what that little bit is. No duckweed though. Yay. Hate that stuff. Anyway, as always, I appreciate you watching, your time. And if I've earned it, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and give it a like. And comments are always welcome. And I don't know why people shut the comments off. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, yeah, I appreciate them. And I try to reply to all of them. Sometimes they get lost in the shuffle, and I go find them in the YouTube analytics page. You know, they'll stack up there, and I'll get to them. Sometimes it's months later, but I will get to them. And I appreciate it too. I appreciate your time and effort. If you're going to leave a comment, I will reply. And as always, thanks for looking.